If you've ever felt that quiet fear that you might be settling, that fear that you're going to be stuck living the 9 to 5 life. My friends and family and the people around me are constantly wishing their weeks away, saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's Monday already. I can't believe it's just Wednesday. Oh, I wish it was Friday." Like every week, "Oh, I made it through another day." Wishing their lives away. Everyone around me is just wishing their week away. I don't want to live a life that I wish away every week. And so I'm doing what needs to be done to reinvent myself and rebuild me a life that I am proud of and a life that I love to live. A life that I do not wish away, because I'm already almost 32 years old and I have been living in autopilot. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt that fear inside of you that you are settling? This fear inside of you that you are not living your life, not truly living up to your potential, not truly living a life that you are happy with? Because I have, and I've gone through this recently, and this is when I made the decision to completely uproot my life and completely change how I do things, because that's not the life I want for myself. And luckily, we are in 2026, so we have the ability to do different things and do things differently. And we don't have to be stuck in that cubicle of the 9 to 5 job every day in order to live the life that we want to live. So I have started asking myself some very deep introspective questions. And I'm thinking maybe you might need to hear them too. I'm going to have them typed out onto the screen for you for a few seconds so that you have time to write them down, just in case you want to deep dive and analyze your life. Maybe you are rebuilding your life too. Maybe you are trying to reinvent yourself and get away from the way you were raised, to leave the status quo, to leave the norm of society. When did you stop recognizing yourself in the mirror or in real life? There definitely was a point where I looked in the mirror and I realized that I had not made decisions I thought I would have made. Where I looked back and I thought, wow, 15-year-old you would be pretty upset with this decision you made in your life. 15-year-old you might have been a little upset that you didn't follow through with this dream, or that you didn't work towards this, or that you chose this instead of this. There was a point there, when did you stop recognizing yourself? Do you remember one moment where you were like, dang, who have I become? I know that sounds corny. It sounds like so deep, but everybody's had one of those moments, I think. I don't know if everybody has, but I definitely have. When was that moment? When did you stop dreaming? That's question 2. When did you stop dreaming? I personally have not stopped dreaming. I've always been a dreamer, but I got to the point where I stopped taking action on those dreams to pursue those dreams. I got to the point where I would think of every excuse not to pursue those dreams, because, to be honest with you, and I'm not using everyone around me as an excuse, but nobody around me has a dream. No one. No one around me has pursued anything in their life other than their 9 to 5 job or having kids and a husband. I don't know anyone that has wanted something I don't know anyone that has wanted to do something else with their life. I don't know anyone that has ever thought differently about this kind of stuff. I just don't know anyone. I know if I would bring up the conversation with probably 90% of my friends or family, this conversation would be shot down with a response such as, that's just the way life is. It's just what you do. You gotta go to work every day. You gotta pay the bills. That's just like the response that people say. So I think I stopped dreaming when I realized I got to a certain age. I got married, we were talking about kids, and I got to the point where I just was I felt like I was kind of starting to settle down. And not settle down as in, oh, I'm finally like I'm content, I'm comfortable, I don't have to like go dating anymore. I'm not like that kind of like nice settling down, but like just settling, just saying, okay, I've reached this certain point, and nobody else around me is working towards this, and nobody else around me is doing anything exciting anymore, or anything other than their 9 to 5 job and vacations once a year and whatever. So I'm going to stick with the status quo, and I'm going to do what everybody else is doing because it's easier. I think that's when I stopped dreaming. What about you? You may not know right now. I had these written down in my journal for a couple weeks before I actually started deep diving into my brain. Question 3. When did you become comfortable being unhappy? If you ask me, it was when I realized everybody else around me was unhappy too. But I never was quite comfortable with it. Even from a young age, I didn't understand why everybody was just okay with working their life away. Hi. I didn't quite. You want to get on the window? Is that what you're doing? Go. I didn't quite understand um why it was just an accepted thing to be miserable. Honestly, miserable. People are so burnt out. They are overworked. And for what? The majority of people I know are depressed. They are in debt, over their heads in debt. They can't make ends meet enough to be comfortable. People are miserable. And all of those people that I can think of that are miserable and depressed and are barely treading water are people that are stuck in the 9 to 5 basic job that they thought that they were getting because that's what you are supposed to do. There was no other option. People don't think that there's other options, or we're just too lazy to come to too lazy to pursue other avenues. Maybe people just get so tired of chasing things that they just give up. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I've gotten to the point where I am uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable with the thought of being comfortable being unhappy. I have gotten to this point. I'm assuming you're probably getting to this point too, where you are watching this video because you think you're feeling this way, but you're not totally sure yet. Because I was there too. Deep questions, man. And I'm not going to answer like every little bit of what my answer would be on here because this is just as much for you as it is for me. So the main thing I'm really going to do is just tell you to say the questions out loud, and I'll touch on them just a little bit, but something to think about. Number 4, why do you keep putting your dreams on hold? I talked in episode 1 about all of the distractions that happened in my life that kind of forced me or yeah, it kind of forced me to put my dreams on hold, or put what I really wanted for my life on hold. Things like college. I would say the internal obsession I have with living up to everybody else's expectations of me. That sounds wild to say out loud, but I thought that if I chose to go to college for this, I got the degree in that, therefore I need to get a job in that degree field and not waste all of that money and time I spent on that degree. Or I'll let my parents down, I'll let other people down, I'll let myself down. That means I didn't stay true to my guns, basically, which is obviously not true. But I thought that, and so I didn't explore other avenues. I was just tunnel vision, horse blinders on, straight shooting towards that goal that I had. Definitely a go-getter when it comes to goals, because if I say I'm going to do something, I'm doing it. Period. I've always been that way. And I think that's something that I had just tunnel vision. I didn't explore other avenues. I didn't think of any other kind of avenues. I didn't think of anything else except for that one goal. I go to art school. Um, I go go for this, go get my I'm not stopping at my bachelor's degree. I'm getting my master's degree because I want to be better. I want to make more money. Get my degree in education, visual arts education. I get a job as an art teacher, and I do that and I do that and I do that, and then I was doing that for 7 years. My whole life flipped upside down. And it took my life flipping upside down and just going to shit for me to realize this is not the life I want to live, which is crazy. It wasn't just some, like, there were little moments here and there where I was like, I realized I kind of knew I was unhappy. I knew I didn't make the right decision career wise. I knew that I felt a little stuck, but it really did take my entire life flipping upside down for me to realize. I think I also put a lot of people above myself, caring for my family, my friends at the time. Yep. And I think another reason I put the reason I put my dream on hold is because I didn't think I could do it. I think I've been worried that I am going to let myself down, or worried I'm going to fail, or more so than anything else, I'm worried about what people are going to say or what they're going to think. I think that's what it is. Being judged, that kind of stuff. And it's silly because it's like everybody is just trying to do their best. Even if they're a crappy person, even if they say something lame that hurts your feelings, like, everybody's been gone through stuff. People that are like that are ugly for a reason. They've gone through something. They're acting like that for a reason. They've gone through some crap, or they're going through some crap, and that's how they're taking it out on the world. They're taking it out on you. And it's not personal, but those are some things that kept me from pursuing my dream. Those are some things that have made me put my dreams on hold. I think those are some things that have uh kind of pushed me to settle when I really, every bone in my body, every fiber of my being does not want to settle. Every fiber of my being wants something more. And you know what? Life is way too short to be worrying about what everybody else thinks and putting your dream on hold just because of other humans that probably are not following their dream, or are also not working towards something different. Other humans who have probably settled, other humans who are probably not content just like you. Who do you actually want to become? Who do you I'm not going to cry. Who do you actually want to become? I wasn't planning to share this because it is personal, but I'm going to just I've already kind of said it once when I kind of spoke it into the world, because It's going to happen. It's already true. I know this for myself. But I'm going to say it in here. And who do I want to become? I have this vision in my head. Do you have it too? Can you sit there, eyes open or closed, and picture what you want your life to be? Can you sit there and picture what little you, when you were a little kid, what you had dreamed of and what you wanted to be, the type of woman you wanted to grow up to be, or the type of man you wanted to grow up to be? I have that vision in my head so clear, so clear. And I know deep in my heart that this is exactly the path I need to be on, because this is going to open so many doors that need to be opened in order for me to become who I was always meant to become. Somebody that is fulfilling their purpose in this world and helping people. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So who do you really want to become? Who do you want to be? Why are you rebuilding yourself? Why are you reinventing your life? It's for a reason. Because you're not happy with how things are right now. You don't want to be miserable anymore. So who do you want to be? Who are you growing into? Who are you trying to become? Who do you actually want to be? Of course you want to be you, but what type of you? What is the version of you that you are searching for? Where is it? Where is she? Where is he? What are they doing every day? What do their days look like? What do they eat and drink? What do they wear? How do their and more importantly than that, how does their heart feel? What are their hobbies? What are they doing for fun? Who's surrounding them? What is their greatest, what's the thing that they're the most thankful for? What's their greatest achievement? Who are you trying to become? Which version of you are you aiming for? Because the version I am becoming, I'm choosing that tense specifically. I'm not saying the person, I'm not going to word it that way. Who do you actually want to become? It's who am I becoming? Who are you becoming? Who are you blossoming into? Because I am becoming the woman that chooses peace in conversations, in conflict. Unless it's necessary to choose another option. I am the woman that is going to choose peace for myself. I'm going to say no to things. I am the going to be I am becoming the woman that is going to say no to things without feeling guilty. I am becoming the woman that doesn't live in town anymore. I'm becoming the woman that sacrifices convenience for peace and wide open country air. I'm becoming the woman that is going to be okay if she doesn't have her own baby. I'm becoming the woman that is going to be okay if she it has to adopt a baby in order to be a mommy one day. That's a very difficult decision I've had to come to. I'm becoming the woman that is happy just making art on her porch, or making art in her barn that she uses to have family get-togethers, with my dogs running around, chickens running around, cats running around, and maybe my baby too. My husband's out working in the yard with me. I picture so many things. So many things, and none of the things that I picture are stressful. None of those things that I'm picturing are working a 9 to 5 job every day. And it's okay if yours does. But I need freedom. I have to have freedom to create and not work for somebody else's mission, somebody else's plan, someone else's purpose, passion. I need to start building my own and working for my own. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm sitting here asking myself and asking you these questions. My answers may not have necessarily made sense to you, or they may not have, and that's okay. I hope some of them did, or you could maybe connect with the way that I felt in some of the answers. But these are the questions that I needed to ask myself in order to realize why I was unhappy and come to that turning point where I just realized I can't live like this. I can't live another week. I don't want to live another week wishing my week away. Life is too dang short. And so I've started this series, and I am giving myself a year to go all in on YouTube. I'm going to go all in on YouTube, and I have some other goals I'm going to share with you here in a second in order to grow a different life, build a different career, and do something totally out of the norm. Something radical, because the only way my life is going to change is if I totally change it. I am the author of this chapter. I am the author of the book that I am living. As corny as that sounds, it's true. So you can make the decision too to change your life. Everyone is going to reach a turning point. And it's what you do after that, reaching that turning point, that will change your life or will make your life just stay exactly the same. So here are some goals I am going to be working on. Number one, each week I am going to be uploading 2 videos to YouTube. One on Tuesday, one on Thursday. Unless something crazy happens, it might end up on a different day, but I'm sticking to Tuesdays and Thursdays. There will be 2 videos. They're going to be rather long form videos, kind of like this, around a half hour, 15 minutes to 30 minutes ish. Number 2, I'm going to be applying to some UGC, user generated content opportunities, to make advertisements for products that I absolutely love. I'm doing this over on my TikTok. It's not going to necessarily connect with this YouTube, although in the future, if brand deals do happen, I will be pursuing those, as long as it's something that I do love and use. Number 3, I'm going to be paying off small debts. Snowball method, starting with the little ones, working my way up. I am almost to the point where I am debt free, and I have been debt free before, and I racked up the debt again because I was stuck. I was just stuck in that cycle doing what everybody else does. If you can't afford it, get a loan. If you can't afford it, do a firm, pay payments on it until you buy it. Doing that crap makes you broke. Because every month you're going to have to add more and more and more and more minimum payments, until the point where you are drowning in debt on top of your other bills. And it's hard enough to live with just your normal bills. So I am paying off my debt, and I'm not going to get a credit card, which I don't have one anymore after I paid that off. But I'm done with these Affirm loans. I'm paying off my Care credit card that I use for my pets. I'm done with that afterwards. And I'm going to start saving money in order to actually build a legitimate savings account and not depend on a credit card for emergencies. That's goal number 3. Number 4, I'm going to spend less time scrolling, more time creating. I've already done that big time the last few weeks, probably the last 3 weeks. When I've started, I kind of came upon this like epiphany, and I realized I had reached my turning point. I'm less time scrolling, more time working on myself, being productive in that 5 to 9 time frame and on the weekends. And then number 5 is working out 2 times a week. Nothing vigorous, just moving my body. I already move my body a lot at my job, but I'm also in my car a lot. So I need to be doing some type of a workout, something 2 times a week. 2 times a week is all I need. I don't know what days those are going to be. It's not going to be a set, thing. I'm definitely not like a big routine gal. The only thing that's going to be a strict routine is my 2 uploads a week are going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So those are my goals right now that I am going to accomplish each week, uh, that are working towards the life that I have always dreamed of, because that life is happening. It's in the works right now. It's just not quite here yet. So, what are you doing every week? What are your goals that you need to reach each week in order to build the life that you want, in order to reinvent yourself? Write them down in a journal. The goals are going to change. Once I pay off my debts, that's going to change into like building a savings, or whatever, but the goals will change, and that's fine, but these are my goals for now. What are your goals? When are you going to write them down? When are you going to start working on them? Because if you've made it this far in the video, I know you are probably not necessarily happy. You may not be content. You're tired of settling, or you just are enjoying the video. But if you are feeling anything that I have shared with you today, any of the ways that I felt, if you connect with me at all, I encourage you. It's time to change. The only one that can change your life is you. You are the only one that can do it. It's time to stop using everything else as an excuse and a distraction. Stay focused. Put on your thinking cap. Put on your creativity cap and build the life you have always dreamed of. Life is too dang short. It's too short. I can't even believe I'm almost 32. And that's still young. But what I'm saying is that I have wanted to do this. I've wanted to do YouTube specifically since I was 20. More than 11 years have gone by, and I have not done that. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because I've asked myself these questions. But I'm done using everything as an excuse. I'm done with the distractions. I'm done settling. I'm done. It's time for bigger and better things, baby. It's time to grow and become the woman I've always dreamed of being. So when are you going to start? Love you guys.